Welcome to Tattletale. Here's today's story. I didn't want him back. I just didn't want her to win. I saw her before I saw him. We weren't supposed to cross paths. We hadn't in over a year, but there she was, standing in line at the farmer's market with that woven tote bag and a man's flannel draped over her shoulders. His flannel. That's how I knew. He always had this way of giving pieces of himself to the women he loved: shirts, playlists, movie quotes, like little souvenirs you didn't realize were branding until much later. And now she wore him. I didn't flinch. Didn't look away. Just studied her from behind my sunglasses like I was scanning inventory. She was pretty in that gentle, non-threatening kind of way. Soft edges, natural hair, probably one of those I don't even wear foundation types who still glowed in every photo. I hated that I couldn't hate her. She looked like someone he would have picked after me. Someone safer. Someone who wouldn't mistake his stability for boredom. Who wouldn't need chaos to feel alive. Who wouldn't run at the first sign of routine. I stood behind a booth of overpriced honey and listened to her laugh at something he said, even though I couldn't hear it. And then he turned and saw me. He froze. Just for a second. Then offered a tight practice smile. The kind you give an old classmate or someone you used to know intimately but now only remember through trauma. I smiled back. Bigger. Colder. Then walked away. And just like that, the game had started. I didn't reach out right away. That would have been too obvious. Too needy. Too much like I still cared. Instead, I waited. Watched from a distance. Checked his socials. Not hers, she kept everything private. Smart girl. But he was still open. Still public. Still careless. I watched their photos pile up over weeks. Hikes. Dinners. A weekend trip to the coast. Her in his hoodie. Him kissing her cheek like he used to do with me, eyes closed. Soft smile, forehead touching skin like she was home. And I felt nothing. At least that's what I told myself. Until I saw the caption. I never knew peace could feel like this. I stared at those words for a long time. Because I have once been the storm. And now he'd found shelter. I waited another 2 weeks before sending the message. Short. Nostalgic. Purposefully random. Just heard that dumb song you used to play on every road trip. Made me think of that gas station with the terrible nachos. Hope you're well. I knew he'd answer. He always did. He replied 10 minutes later. Wow, that takes me back. Hope you're doing okay too. Simple. Measured. Respectful. But he responded. Which meant I still existed. And that was all I needed to start unraveling everything she thought was secure. I replied the next day. Didn't want to look too eager. Let the silence stretch just enough to make him wonder if I regretted reaching out. Then I sent, honestly, it made me miss you, but not in a weird way, just the comfort, the friendship. That word friendship is a blade if you know how to hold it. He read it within minutes. Took 2 hours to respond. I miss the friendship too. No heart. No emoji. No doors opened. But not locked either. He was walking the line, and I knew how to tip him off it. From there I was careful. No flirting. No reminiscing too hard. Just slow, steady messages, the kind that sounded innocent out loud but bled history between the lines. He responded every time. Short at first. Then longer. Then paragraphs. Then audio notes. I told myself I wasn't trying to ruin anything, but I knew the rhythm of his silence, and I could feel it changing. I was in his head again, and soon I'd be in her nightmares. He didn't tell her we were talking. I knew that before he did. You can hear it in the way someone types, careful, neutral, like each word's been triple-checked. Like they're already imagining what it'll look like if someone else reads it. So I gave him nothing to confess. No obvious lines. No real flirting. Just familiarity, woman harmless on the surface. Do you still make that pasta with the lemon and chili flakes? What was the name of that bar we always said we hated but always ended up at? God, remember that terrible amp with the squeaky bed? He remembered all of it. And when he left, I knew it was real. Because I'd always been the only one who could make him laugh like that, snorting, breathless, unfiltered. She probably laughed prettier, but I laughed louder, and he used to love that. So when I sent him a photo, just my hand holding a drink, same glassware from a restaurant we used to visit, he replied instantly, "Haven't seen that place in forever." He didn't ask who I was with, didn't ask why I was there. He just responded, and somewhere in that silence between messages, I knew he hadn't told her, which meant he had something to hide, and I was it. The first crack came in a comment, not to me, on one of his posts. A photo of him at a park, nothing special. But she wrote, "Funny, I didn't know we were posting throwbacks now." I read it 10 times. She was unraveling. Not publicly, not dramatically, but carefully. Like someone trying to keep control while feeling it slip between her fingers. I smiled, because I knew exactly what was happening. He'd started pulling away, just enough to make her wonder. Fewer texts, longer replies, late arrivals, little things. The same way he used to drift from me when he was too tired to lie but not brave enough to tell the truth. She was probably asking him if something was wrong, and he was probably saying no, just like he used to. But the part that thrilled me was knowing she wasn't wrong. Something was off, and it had my name written all over it. He still hadn't deleted our old texts. I could tell. And one night I sent him a voice note. Just 3 words. "I miss this." He didn't reply, but he listened to it twice. I waited a week after the voice note. Didn't message. Didn't post. Just let the silence hang sharp, deliberate, echoing. Then he texted me late one night. "I've been thinking about what you said." I didn't ask which part. I already knew. He followed it up with, "I can't go down that road again." I stared at that line for a while, because I can't isn't the same as I don't want to, and people only say again when they're already halfway there. I typed, "I wasn't asking for anything. I just miss you. That's not a crime, is it?" He didn't respond until the next morning. "No, it's not." And that's when I knew I had him. Not in a dramatic, stolen kiss ruin his relationship way, but in a quieter one. In the way that keeps him distracted when she's talking. In the way that makes him check his phone during dinner. In the way that plants doubt in every smile she gives him. I didn't need to touch him. I just needed her to know she'd never have all of him, because I was still in the part he hadn't figured out how to delete. She messaged me. I knew she would eventually. The tone was polite, too polite. The kind that comes from someone holding back a scream. "Hey, I know this is kind of awkward, but I saw that you and his name have been talking again. Just wanted to make sure there's no confusion or boundaries being crossed." I could have ignored it. Could have played innocent. But that wouldn't have been nearly as fun. So I wrote back, "Totally understand. But no confusion here. We just have history. I'm sure you get that." No apology. No denial. Just a reminder that she was dating someone who used to tell me all his secrets in the dark, who once said he'd never love anyone the way he loved me. And even if that wasn't true anymore, I knew she believed it still could be. She didn't reply, but the next day he did. "You didn't have to say anything," I replied, she asked. He didn't answer that either, and for the first time I could picture the fight. Her crying. Him trying to stay calm. Her asking, "Why are you still letting her in?" Him saying, "It's nothing." But it wasn't nothing. It was me. Still there. Still in his inbox. Still in his mind. And now in the cracks of their relationship. Exactly where I wanted to be. After that, the post slowed down. No more selfies. No more brunch recaps. No tag dates. Just muted tones and vague captions about growth and taking space. They were unraveling, and I didn't even have to do anything. That's what people don't get about damage. It doesn't always come with fire and fury. Sometimes it's just a whisper, a well-placed silence, a seed, and she was watering it for me. I didn't message him much after that, just the occasional check-in. How have you been? He always answered, shorter now, hesitant, like someone trying not to say the wrong thing out loud in case she was watching. But he answered. That's what mattered, because every message reminded him that I was still there, that I never really left, that the version of himself he buried, the one that unraveled for me, laughed with me, hurt because of me, was still breathing under the skin of this new, calm, curated life. And no matter how good she was for him, she didn't know how to wake it up. But I did. Then one night he called me. No warning, no message first. Just his name lighting up my screen like it used to. I let it ring twice before answering. Hey, I said, like I hadn't been waiting months to hear his voice again. He was quiet for a second. Then she moved out. I didn't pretend to be surprised. I didn't ask why. He filled the silence anyway. Said I wasn't present, said I wasn't honest with her, that she always felt like there was someone else in the room even when it was just us. I almost laughed, because there was. It was me. I had been in every silence, every hesitation, every moment he couldn't look her in the eye and say, I'm all in. And now she was gone. I waited before responding. Then softly, like I cared, I'm sorry. But I wasn't. I was finally whole again, because he was broken, and I had done it without ever touching him.